What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Recently, I talked about Doja Cat, who was exposed by young actor Noah Schnapp for exposing her thirst for Stranger Things actor Joseph Quinn. Now, for those of you who know about Doja Cat, she is mixed. She is half, I believe, European, Jewish, and South African. Her preference is typically white men, typically European white men. And then the kind of guys that she goes after, I would say for the white guys is very like, kind of thin guys, you know what I mean? That kind of look. And she was really feeling Joseph Quinn. So she messaged a 17-year-old who acts in the same series as he does and basically said, hey, I want to hook up with, Joseph Quinn. What can you do for me? And, things like that. And the young man was like, listen, why don't you go ask him yourself? Like, why don't you DM him? But she was like, well, I can't find him online. And so that would have been a good indicator that he doesn't want to be contacted on social media. But the young man decided to expose Doja Cat for her thirst. And he exposed the conversations on TikTok. And what happened is that Doja basically went live on TikTok and she was blasting Noah for, posting the private DMs. She said that, he was basically like a weasel and a snake. And again, it is a weasel and a snake thing to do, to expose somebody's messages in public. But see, you know what, guys? Social media is very interesting, okay? Because you can be right and the public will pick the person who they feel is right. For an example, let's say somebody like Kevin Samuels, all right? Kevin would get called out all the time by people, but he wouldn't respond to it. And some people, I know of one situation where the person who was leveraging an attack on him, it was actually Kevin that Kevin made a mistake on. But the way the person handled it, it made him look so bad, Kevin's fans just obliterated the guy. And the guy was right, because it was a person, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but Kevin was in the wrong at this particular time. It wasn't nothing major. But the way that the guy handled it, it made all of Kevin's fans just destroy the guy. To the point where, that guy might as well never have posted another video again. And again, it wasn't nothing major, nothing more than $100 issue. This happened way back in the day, but that's what I'm talking about, right? Now, let me just say this. Noah Schnapp is a young white man. Doja Cat is phenotypically a black woman. See, here's what we're going to find out. Number one, you're 26 or 17. How dare you feel, and there are some racial undertones in this, that you as a black woman, you're going to come in and bully a young white male teenager and call him a weasel? See, when she did that, she lost 200,000 subscribers because Doja Cat has an international fan base. But they're never going to allow you to do that to somebody white. That stuff works on black men. But you are not so big that you're going to call out a young man even in the wrong. A young white man, 17, that you messaged. Oh no, his side will be taken. And guess what? He gained 1 million subscribers in the situation. 1 million. She lost 200,000. He gained 1 million. And he was in the wrong. But the situation is that you're not going to talk about white men in that light. Who do you think you are? That's what, it might not, nobody might not say it, but for me, that's the undertone of this. And again, I gotta talk about race. I want to talk about what my mother told me the other day. My mother wants me to get out of Poland. Okay. I've been living in Poland for some time. I finished. And I'm leery about going into another, the field that I finished in, because the business I'm in now is doing very well. But I do like Europe. I like it a lot. I like the quality of life. Nobody bothers me. And she said, son, Putin is talking about coming to Poland. And I said, well, Mom, that's some jazz and everything. I don't know about that. She said, well, baby, you need to really leave there. I said, well, Mom, if that were to come, I could just go to Warsaw at the U.S. Embassy and fly home. She said, son, I want you to understand something. I know that you're doing very well for yourself. And you're a very hard worker and you're a successful man. But you're still a black man. You're still a black man. My mama grew up in the civil rights movement. She was there at UC Davis in the 60s where they called Malcolm X Hall at UC Davis. So she understands racial politics. She was at the crack era. She understands all that. And people think that things have changed, and they have never changed. They're still the same. It's just that it's more subtle now. But things like this let you know what's going on. Because if this was a young black guy she did this to, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna take her side. But all the time I'm telling black people, you gotta always remember, you're black. You're black. Don't you ever forget it. Okay? Doja Cat. I don't care how much you want to be accepted by the other groups. And I have brothers in the, that are black conservatives and all this other stuff, and brothers who are interracially married and stuff. But I will tell you this, long as you know you're still black, then you better think about that. And Doja Cat had just found that out. You're still a black woman. And what people are going to look at is, here's this black woman abusing this young 17-year-old young white guy. Even if he is wrong, who do you think you are to call him out? And as blacks in America, we need to understand that we're still dealing with that issue. We still have things to fight for. We're not equal like we believe. And a lot of times entertainers, guys, let me just tell you this. It can get to your head when you start doing very well. The reason is, it makes you feel different when you're the only black person in first class, the only black person in business class. But you got to remember, you're still black. That don't change the fact that if something happens and people got to choose sides, all things being equal, race is going to be a considering factor. And you can put your people down all you want. Okay? But that boy didn't care nothing about her. Doja Cat was worthless to him. You see, she's used to being treated so nice and stuff until he didn't he really exposed the fact that she wasn't really nothing to him. Okay? And I bet you she will never go after another white guy again publicly, because these are the consequences. A lot of these white fans and international fans, they want something to stop following you because they want you to know you got limits on this. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first clip at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.